Put on your headphones. Look around. The story of the photograph that ages backwards has haunted antique collectors for decades. They say it traps a moment that wants to be unborn. Few who owned it remain sane. Nobody speaks. But everyone feels that something is about to happen. Breath stops. The world waits. The revelation is near. Marcus worked as a digital archivist and photographer. He had restored thousands of vintage images. Nothing in a photograph ever surprised him. Until Tuesday night, March 12, 2024, at 10:47 p.m. Every detail of the environment gains weight, as if the space itself is watching. The gap between the known and the unknown has shrunk. At a flea market in the Old District, Marcus found a tintype buried among forgotten portraits. The family looked too young for 1920. A small tear marked the edge. He bought it for pocket change. The protagonist recognizes something familiar where there shouldn't be anything familiar. The ground feels firmer under the feet. Certainty begins to return. The next morning, Marcus compared the tintype with his phone scan from the previous night. The boy's hair was darker. The girl's face smoother. Impossible. Yet the evidence was in his hands. The breath of the world feels suspended, waiting for a word. For 6 days, Marcus watched the age regression accelerate. The parents became young adults. The children shrank into toddlers. Each morning, the photograph erased another year. He tried to understand the pattern. The protagonist feels that the story has been told before, but to someone else. Under magnification, Marcus noticed something he had missed. A figure stood in the background by the tree. It had no face. Its limbs were too long. The figure had not aged a single day. The door that should be closed begins to move on its own. Marcus searched every archive. The family didn't exist. The photograph had no provenance. The tear on the edge was unlike any he had seen. He felt the first chill of dread. The silence grows heavy. Something moves in the shadows, slow and waiting. He locked the tintype in a fireproof safe. He told himself it was just a trick of light. Finally, he could rest. But the photograph had other plans. The internal clock ticks to a beat that no one else hears. Morning came. The safe stood open. The tintype was on his desk. The children were now infants. The figure in the background had grown. Marcus backed away, heart pounding. Something changed. The air became denser, closer, heavier. Marcus looked into the dark glass of a picture frame. His reflection had aged 20 years overnight. Gray hair. Deep wrinkles. And in the tintype, the keeper's eyes glowed red for the first time. The space between people grows smaller. The tension grows larger. The keeper's lips moved. A cold whisper filled the room, "You will join us." Marcus felt an icy grip on his shoulder. He couldn't move. The photograph's world was pulling him in. The detail that no one noticed until now appears for the first time. He opened his eyes. He stood before the Victorian house from the tintype. His hands were young. The family smiled at him, the man, the woman, the children. And behind them, the keeper nodded slowly. An almost imperceptible sound cuts the silence. Something is coming. When authorities entered the office, Marcus was gone. On the desk lay the tintype. It showed 5 figures now. The first 4 were unchanged. The 5th was a child who looked exactly like Marcus at age 8. The case remains unsolved. Time feels suspended. Every breath echoes louder than it should. Look at the oldest photograph in your house. Does everyone look exactly as you remember? Leave your thoughts in the comments.